Cool. So she already said I can let her in.
Cool.
So this is Miss Yelena. Awesome
Yeah.
lady. I'm glad I had a chance to have a conversation with her, not to take over the show what we're talking about, but I wanted to highlight her because she's has awesome energy. I can't wait to work with her in the
Yes, she
future. I'm
does.
not gonna say what we're
Yes.
gonna do with her
Exactly.
in the future, but great things are coming soon. She's a wonderful person to have on. This is Miss Yelena, everybody. Hey, Miss Yelena.
Absolutely.
Hi, good evening,
Hey,
everyone. How are you?
What's
How are
Yelena.
going on?
you?
I'm glad you stopped by.
How are
You said you
you?
would.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the pit stop. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, whoever you are. This is the pit stop. Glad to have you tonight. On our mental health check-in tonight. You know, it's Wednesday. We made it. Yay! And we've got our hot spots of the show tonight. Our oh so opulent Shannon Grace Chappelle, the opulent one, is on the team. She won't be here tonight, but she'll be hanging back out with us on Sunday or anytime thereafter. We are just glad that she's moving through healing. We miss you, Shannon. We miss you, opulent one. We miss you bad. And that apple doesn't fall far from that amazing tree with our own media producer, the Trayvon Gray. Trey Wiz in the house
Hey
tonight.
y'all. What's up,
Hey,
y'all?
Trey.
How y'all doing this evening?
Everything's good. We all right. We made it to Wednesday.
Yeah, we making it through. It was a rough day today for me on my part, like I told you before, but we made it. We made it.
Yeah, I'm
We here.
telling you.
Y'all get some
Yeah.
rest tonight. If y'all got to go to work in the morning, get some rest. Be ready for the next day. Let's
Yeah,
knock out the week.
yeah,
Some of us do work on the weekends, but for those that don't, and you get to, make Friday your end day of the week, then do what you
yeah,
need to do to
yeah,
get through. Yeah.
yeah.
How
And I
about you,
hear you
Professor?
on
How
the
you
end
doing?
day. On the end day, listen, my Friday comes any day. I'm
Okay,
just
I ain't mad at
saying,
that.
my Friday comes any day. It's just making it to the end game. Hey, Ari.
What's up,
Ari was
Ari?
hanging out and hanging out watching us.
Thank you for
Hey,
waiting. I appreciate that.
absolutely. You're
Yeah.
great. At the top of the world. She's so good. And just thinking in terms of, the aftershocks and all over the place, from here, from New York to Maryland and Pennsylvania and different places,
I
people
know that was
were
crazy.
feeling that was bananas. 30 aftershocks. I could hardly get over two. You talking about people who are experiencing at least 30 aftershocks, and I said, you know what? It sound like a relationship, a relationship scenario in my mind.
Right.
Sometimes we get those aftershocks in our relationship selves and the relationships that we have with people, no matter who
Comes
they
in
are.
waves. Yep.
I'm telling you, and you're like, wow, where did that come from? How did that happen? And how did we get there?
Y'all
So
better stay
yeah,
vigilant if you can.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, it works on our wellness. We have to keep working on our wellness. So those of you who passed through tonight, we thank you for passing through. And those who are watching,
Thank you so much.
recheck, check your nerves. I'm just saying, check your
And make
nerves
sure you're good.
because
Right.
make sure you're good. If you're not good, say something. Don't hang tight without saying something,
That part.
and because that aftershock and the anxiety, the earthquake anxiety, the aftershock of a relationship can really hit an all-time high in your life. Just looking at the overview of the aftershocks in NJ in New Jersey. Again, it was a 4.8 magnitude. Some people are saying like, and so it wasn't that bad. Listen,
Shoot, if you weren't
when
there,
you
what can
feel,
you say if you wasn't there?
what can you say? If you
Yeah.
didn't feel the ground rumbling and tumbling under you and the building shaking, if you didn't feel that, if you weren't there to experience that, then listen, I
I'm
don't know
glad
what
you're
to tell
okay.
you.
I'm
I'm
glad you're all
glad I'm
right.
okay too,
Your
and I'm
house is
hoping
safe
that others
to
are.
stay in. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I even had to learn some things on what to check for in a aftershock. It during what to look for in
I
a
remember you said the
concerning
window
a
seals and
earthquake.
stuff like that.
Window
Yeah.
sills, make sure nothing's cracked. Even if you have cracks, make sure it's not bigger.
Hmm.
And if you didn't have any before, make sure that you document it, you take pictures, make sure you look outside your building, your home, and things like that for cracks, large cracks. Those are significant meanings.
I got a
Those things
question.
really have meaning.
Any reports or anything about houses that are unstable now, like you can't live in it? Because some, depending on 4.5 for anything is enough for me. But any reports and stuff in around the area about like anything not being suitable anymore to live in or
Yeah, it was actually, because when you have pre-existing conditions in a building and you get something like a 4.8 and more, of course, you know what's going to happen.
of
Big
course.
time. It's increasing the dangers of actually the livability. It's decreasing the
Exactly.
livability index. So yeah, the reports are showing that buildings, homeowners and buildings, landlords who have pre-existing conditions and homeowners who have pre-existing conditions, they are trying to fix it. They have problems, huge, much bigger problems than before. So I don't know how they're gonna handle it, but the city is
I feel
inundated
that.
by, applications for funding and things like that. So, early intervention is key. Fix your stuff while it's at, a place that
Yeah,
can be fixed.
before it gets to the point of no return.
I'm
That's the
telling you.
scary part because you don't know. We don't work for
Exactly.
the city or the county, so we don't know anything about regulations. We can check our, as much as we can check, but we don't know what's in code and what's not being
Exactly.
maintained and stuff. So that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
scary.
So people are trying to get their homes and their buildings fixed and things like that. So yeah, it has affected the livability index. It has affected these homes, and there was already some homes that was already just crumbling. Buildings just would just
Unfortunately.
topple. So now some of those same landlords are having issues with their other buildings now
Hmm.
because these are buildings with balconies, but according to the studies, older buildings seem to be stronger than some of the newer built developments
Yeah, because
because
they
of the
built so
lesser,
quickly. Yeah, they're not
yeah,
the
and the
same
lesser
materials and
materials.
yeah,
So just think, they're gonna crumble like a matchbox. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
But my
So,
question to you is, I would want to know, not cutting you off though, I just want to, that spawns a question. I want to know, so is it, because I never lived in New York, obviously, but everybody knows how high it is. The higher up north you go, the more everything costs. So,
yeah.
my question is it something over the landlord's head as far as taxes or something like that? Like, I'm trying to understand why anyone, honestly, that owns a property and is renting out to anyone would try to neglect or cut corners on things that need to be fixed. So, do you know the overall issue or the reason why it could be like that?
Well, it's like the opulent one said, often says, some people just don't care. They don't
That
care.
Yeah, I
I
just
can hear
thought the
Shannon
laws
saying
were
that
supposed
now.
to protect
They don't
people
care.
from. I thought the
Hmm.
laws were supposed to keep people concerned, aware and in tune with what their properties and stuff. I know people might not care,
Supposedly.
but you take on certain positions and you can't afford not to care anymore. So that's kind of
Supposedly they're supposed
unfortunate.
to care. However, you've got landlords and landowners, even some homeowners in this, and it also depends upon the season and the time of year, the physical year, stuff like that. What's in favor of landlords? It
Mm,
pertains to a law. It could get like into a whole bunch of red tape, but the
mm-hmm,
bottom line is many times these bylaws and things favor the landlord. They favor the home, the homeowner. So they get to take full advantage of the
mm-hmm.
buyers and tenants. I'm just saying.
That makes
So
sense.
many of these laws that are written, they're so antiquated, and some of them have been grandfathered in. So
Yeah.
when the people protest and they come together and they try to make sure the legislature changes, that rules change. So landlords and landowners, they don't like when the rules of the game change. They like play the game but don't change the rule.
So
So when
is it a big
people
threat on
push,
people trying to like people that are trying to live somewhere? Is it a big like is there eviction turnover? Like will people as
oh
as
yeah,
a form of a threat or anything when it comes to
it
like
is a
people trying
huge
to
threat.
say, mm,
Well, the big issue now is not just evictions, it's squatters.
mm,
People claiming that
mm,
they have a right to stay, they have a right to remain
mm.
in a place of living after 30 days of trying to, and once the landlord or whatever, the homeowner tries to evict them, they are claiming squatters' rights, which
Yeah,
is
and
bananas.
it's some I was going to say it's some
I'm
laws that
like,
actually
who
protect them and
are
allow them to
you?
do that. Now, can you do me a
Mm-hmm.
favor? Can you do me a favor for those that are watching? It's 11 minutes in. Would you mind hitting us with a disclaimer real quick? Because I do want to catch that at the beginning of the stream.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Listen, friendly disclaimer, family, we are not a medical provider. We are not a medical advice board. We do not issue medical advice. Please, any of our videos, any of our recordings, any of our discussions that we engage in and we engage you in is shared information to make your life better, to lead you, to head you
Hmm.
off from the before, during, and after of a
Yeah,
catastrophe
that
concerning
safety
your
net.
wellness. Safety
Hmm.
net. We are
Hmm.
considered a safety net to head you off before you become at risk in your mental health and your
Hmm.
family. Again, we are not a medical advisory board, so please seek medical attention. And at the same
Indeed.
time, keep shining and sharing with us so we can also shine and share with you and do well at what we do.
I know
Thank
that's
you so
right. Well
much.
said. You always lay that
Absolutely.
out just like you're supposed to. No complaints with that. No complaints with that.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So yeah. So here we are, emotional response. We past survival. We are past survival. We are living. We are lifing. We are out here lifing, still
That part. And it's
advocating.
feeling good too.
It
It's feeling
really
good.
feels good. I didn't know so many people were vulnerable. I didn't know how vulnerable we really are as humans
Until
until
I
this
started
thing
doing some
happened.
digging and investigating.
Right.
Yeah, because the
Exactly.
average person isn't saying nothing about how they feel into the core. That's a lot of exposure. That takes
Exactly.
a lot, honestly. It really
It
takes a
really
lot for people to
does.
be just out there like that. Like this. Like
Transparent.
like we doing,
Transparent.
It does
Yeah,
take a
it
lot.
does. Not too
Hmm.
many people doing it. And the thing is, people, looks like people
Hey,
tend to
Kenneth.
believe a lie. Hey, Dr. K. People tend to adhere or they're attracted to the untruths. I have to say, my parents
It's
used to
easier that
tell us,
way.
don't say the word lie, but I have to say
Yeah.
the untruths more than they would engage the truth. I have to
Hmm.
say, understanding your reality, like we talked about,
Exactly.
is it works
But it's
best.
easier that way. You got
Yeah.
half the people don't have the strength or the mental capacity to go against the grain. It's so much easier to just follow along. It's so much easier
Wow.
to just do and just accept and just so that we can
Wow.
encourage those people to do so. But it takes, the average person's not doing that. So
And
and then
they
we have to
and
realize
those
that.
is going down. They going down the rabbit hole. Them folks
Yeah,
are going down the rabbit hole on a continual basis. Don't even know how to get there.
exactly.
May not even know it's a rabbit hole.
Exactly. So, I
You
mean, I
know?
feel like all we can do on our end, honestly, is make them aware. Hopefully, they
Yeah.
come across this platform for one reason or another. But, if it's someone that we can actually share this with, maybe
Absolutely.
they'll chime in and hear some of these words because this
Absolutely.
is what we do nonstop. So, this is how it's going to go. But we have to
Absolutely.
remember that we have a certain mindset, but we have to be conscious of the fact or be aware of the fact that everyone doesn't have the same mindset that we do. So we can't assume, nor I don't think
Absolutely.
we do, because it's transparent here. So everybody, we
Absolutely.
know it's different bodies of people in here, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't think um, I just don't want us to. I think we're doing what we're supposed to, but I just don't want us
Yeah.
to
The
act as if
assumptions.
everyone, yeah, just
Right,
assume
is in the
everyone is
same
on that same,
mindset,
yeah.
which is good. That's a good flavor still because it starts to, combine flavors, and then you start to see what kind of efforts and what kind of things are happening
How that
to
comes together.
individuals and groups, and then how it blends and stuff like that. So the proof will start to begin to
That
come.
part.
The proof in the pudding will start to happen.
It's
So
coming.
I
Yeah.
just say we do need aftershocks. Humans
Yeah.
need dilemmas. We need dilemmas to live and grow. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Some people need Some humans need more dilemmas than others. Some folks are just bad. That's what my parents say. They're just bad. And you know, our new generation
People
try
get
not to use the
comfortable.
word bad.
People get
But
comfortable, I think.
they get so comfortable with a misguided lifestyle
Yeah. Thank you to everybody
that
watching. Don't forget,
it's
don't be afraid to say hello. For those that are
absolutely
watching in here, don't be afraid to say
chime
what's up
in,
or chime in.
because we're
Yeah.
talking about earthquake anxiety, the aftershock, and how certain things like the aftershock of a relationship ties in. How the earthquake is like you get so much of an emotional response from the earthquake. Survivors encounter like psychological aftershocks
Mm-hmm.
after an earthquake. We all survive some type of psychological aftershock
Earthquake.
after
Yeah,
a
aftershock.
relationship.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
know, whether it's an earthquake, whether it's something that's happened in our family, whether it's something that's happened to us personally, and then we become vulnerable. We're like little lambs all the time in that situation. However, there's some things that can help us to fix it.
I think everyone
You
needs a
know,
reset though. I think
yeah,
everyone can
yeah,
like I think you get so caught up in life and caught up in work and the things you have to do and taking care of your kids and paying the bills and blah 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 that you do get kind of things do fall the wayside. And I think everybody
yeah,
needs a reset. Now,
yeah,
not to compare any of this to September 11th, but that's the only time that I've seen in my life, and it's unfortunate that it takes something that in COVID. It's unfortunate
yeah,
that it takes monumental things or things that are so disastrous. It's unfortunate that it takes something like that for people to take heed or
wow,
bond together or actually
yeah,
speak to each other or recognize each other as equal and one. So you know, it's like I said, it's unfortunate that that type of stuff has to happen, but that's the only time, those only two times that I've seen people actually band together.
yeah.
More so 9/11, because you couldn't quote unquote band together for COVID. You were separated, but
But it was the whole world,
everyone
the
needs a
whole
reset.
world, every world came together
Hmm.
during 9/11 and
Mm.
COVID. Well, you know, like God shut the curtain. He's like, okay, y'all ain't communicating properly. Let me
Hmm.
just close the curtain. Curtains. Let me just close the curtain. You know,
Yeah,
well, when they
and
say
give it a
curtains,
pause for a
you
moment.
know, give it a pause. Let me press
Yeah.
pause for a little bit and see how you guys are going to come back and communicate. What's your collective? What's your collaborative effort? How are you going to treat each other? Because
Hmm.
the earth can't take this bad behavior anymore. She's spewing it out. We can't manage it. And it was so the communication, we couldn't verbalize,
Hmm.
anymore, because it looked like humankind didn't appreciate the space that we had, the
Until
space that we
then,
shared.
until those times,
Until
unfortunately.
that time, we were
Yeah.
share. Can you imagine a gazillion different people sharing spaces, sharing a space with each other, and just desecrating and just vehemently just knocking people off
Mm.
the face of the planet, emotionally, verbally, abusing people and more. And then, okay, then all of a sudden, boom, nothing. The whole communication, everything just stops.
Hmm.
No, the
I
air
just
you
wish people didn't
breathe.
fall off from those things, from those lessons. Like even we was
Right.
talking
The
about it
respect.
on the other
Yeah.
show.
The
As a result of
privacy.
things and what people are learning, but when people get
Mm-hmm.
they go back into their norm. For instance, COVID, how everyone
Mm.
was so adamant about washing their hands and putting on hand
Right.
sanitizer and staying clear
Mm-hmm.
from people and wiping surfaces and but
Right.
it's like all of a sudden now that that's quote unquote gone, or people say it's no longer a problem, it's like everybody went back to not washing their hands and doing all types
Wow.
of whatever. So
Wow.
it's unfortunate that it takes something like that for people to be aware, but for a moment.
Wow.
I don't understand why something doesn't stick, why you think it won't come back or be a bigger problem later on. So
Well,
it just
that's where that accountability comes in. Accountability and support. Boom,
that
there it
part.
is.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's ongoing. And if not, it'll keep us vulnerable. And the most vulnerable groups emotionally after an earthquake are young adults, 17 to 25 years old, and women. Women in particular are susceptible to anxiety and emotional difficulties, according to the studies. This doesn't go for everybody. just talking about statistically. Some
Mm-hmm.
people know how to deal with it, and some people do not know, but they find out. They work it through. Now, resiliently, and interestingly enough, older adults in areas prone to systemic activities may exhibit more resilience. In other words, some of the
Mm-hmm.
older
We're
folks
used to it.
have a handle on it.
Yeah.
Go
Yes.
figure.
Figure out how to
It just
weave.
don't
I
go for
mean,
everybody.
we as Black people, honestly, we weave through a lot. When I look at
Yeah,
history and I
we're
read of
pretty
things of the
resilient.
past, yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot that we weave through and still came out on
Yeah.
top. Still made
Yes.
it every,
Exactly.
slop or something
Psychologically.
that was given to us as food. The scraps and everything,
Exactly.
and making it delicacies and
Exactly.
making it
Mm-hmm.
making it something desirable. So we were always able
Yeah.
to turn. I just want to say that we were always able to turn things around and make it something
Exactly.
desirable. Yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah,
that's that accountability and resilience. And now just think in this tech age that we have with our iPhone
and it's
babies,
not helping. It's not
they're
helping.
coming behind us and things. So, we got to help them to deal with the aftershock of things. And it's a combination of spiritual, shaken. I have to say shaken, not stirred. When the earth trembles, our nerves do too. Anytime you hear you feel a emotion like that, or you see something tremendous, it works on your nerves immediately.
Hmm.
However, when you talk about post earthquake anxiety, remember post anything after the fact, remember you're not alone, because you got a gazillion other people who are probably passing through what you're passing through. It's just the experience is different. Their
Hmm.
reaction is different. Their engagement is different. However, you
I
got to
want it to
learn
stick
how to
though.
reach out
That's
and
my problem.
breathe.
I
How
want
does
it
it
to
stick?
stick. I wanted people
How does it
to keep
stick?
those things that they learn. I don't want it to fall off. I
Yeah.
want people to
Yeah.
practice what they learn from traumatic situation. Now, some things I will say, like an earthquake, you can't control, but you
Exactly.
can do
Some things you
things to
can't
educate
control.
yourself
Yeah.
on it possibly happening again and how to be better, prepared. You can,
Prepared. Mm-hmm.
you can lay out some, ground rules or
Exactly.
some guidelines behind the things that happen in your life. Is my only point.
Exactly. Well, I got a few takeaways, a few best practices in the event of an aftershock. In the event, hopefully it won't be a 5.0 and
I
more.
don't want that. I don't wish
Oh
that.
God, hopefully it won't. But make sure you text a friend or a family member for emotional support. Talk to a therapist to process. It's processing it. Some people still can't wrap their brain around, first of all, not two, but 30 some odd, close to 30 some odd aftershocks. Hang out with some friends and family for comfort. Do brunch, do breakfast or something somewhere where you can just vent.
Do you have any
Show up with your community.
Do you have a question? I'm sorry not to cut you off at all, but do you have any known resources to name any shelters in different areas, like different cities of New York? And if not, this
Well,
is something that we
in
can
New
bring to the
York,
next. Yes.
to tell you the truth, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have
Hmm.
a plan, but there is a site at newyork.gov where they
Okay.
have guidelines for an earthquake. They're
Exactly.
small. However, at the same time, from at newyorkcity.gov, the guidelines on earthquakes for the New York City residents. However, having your own plan along with New York City guidelines is also key. Have a pack bag. Have a pack bag full of clothes, a pack bag with emergency kit, a pack bag in that emergency kit, flashlights, what do you call, even a crank radio, in the event that all of the energy, everything's blacked out, there's an
Yes.
outage, you have that crank radio to communicate and hear what's going on. Make sure you have, dry goods to sustain, like foods and stuff like that, canned goods to sustain, and, simple stuff, simple, not basic, so you can, survive until
Hmm.
you get to
Get
the
you a
next steps and
survival
hear
pack.
from the proper,
Invest in
get
small
something
stuff like
going,
survival packs. It's
small stuff.
gauze and
And
everything. I think this was
yeah,
like
exactly. Thank you,
$45 or
Trey
something like
Wiz.
that. It's a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of the metal. I forgot what you call it or what material it is, but in emergencies, there's gauze in here. There's a knife in
Waterproof.
here to be able to sharpen
Yeah.
things. Those
Mm-hmm.
metal heated blankets they give you in case of emergency or to keep yourself warm
Absolutely.
and stuff. It's all types of
Absolutely.
bandages and flashlights
Yeah.
and flints and everything in here. So
Mm-hmm.
something on the go.
Those
It's
are
for the
things you should
ladies.
keep.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Even in your car, people who have a
I was
car,
about to
you
say
should
that.
keep that in your home and your car, no matter what, because anything could happen. Hey, Mr.
Mhm.
DJ.
What's up? Hey, Mr.
Mr.
DJ.
DJ. Hey,
That part.
hey. Glad to see you
But
tonight. Thanks for stopping
yeah.
by. And everybody, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching tonight. We're talking about earthquake anxiety, the aftershock, and also tying it into the aftershock of a relationship. Let's just talk about that one.
Come on,
Let's
clear it
go.
out. Tell us something. Tell us something good.
Sometimes you got them little aftershocks in a relationship. We're talking about a personal relationship. You be like, it could be an ex. It could be 9 times out of 10, it's probably an ex.
9 times out of
Or
10.
9 times out of 10, it's always an ex who's trying to get back in. That's why he or she is an ex.
Mm-hmm.
And they have
Keep them
some
where they at.
aftershocks or
Mhm.
or baggage, whatever, that you like, you know what? I'm gonna let you go with that. But sometimes it could be traumatizing, and you need a survival guide to make it after that relationship. You know, sometimes your nerves, and like I said, can based upon how the relationship was, if it was toxic and unhealthy, then
Mm.
you gotta deal with the aftershock of it. You got to deal with the aftermath. The aftermath of any systemic or catastrophic event always comes with, okay, just for instance, it might come with famine. It might come with, transportation issues. It might come with, not being, out communication outages, stuff like that. In a relationship, sometimes that happens. You like, sometimes that he or she may shut down, making it difficult to move on to the next relationship. The
Mm-hmm.
aftershock, shaken not stirred. It'll work on your mental health, and it doesn't make room for the next relationship. It doesn't make room for
Very true.
the best relationship, the relationship that he or she needs to have,
So how do
he
you
or she
coach
needs to
that?
be in.
How do you coach that to individuals? Because some people, I feel like people, okay, the people that don't learn their lesson, I just feel like people that keep getting attached to the same type of person with the same type of personalities, same type of traits. I mean, yeah, there's all type of medical terms or whatever you can throw on it, or just reasons why people can say that they continue to stick with the same thing, but a lot of people are in limbo because they choose the limbo. Now, I feel people that go through something traumatic and it's messed you up in a way that you probably perceive life or people or relationships a little different. But I just feel like when are people gonna learn from that lesson? If you had that bad ex that cheated really badly, or you had somebody that was abusive, you're not gonna go with somebody else that's treating you the same way or giving you some red flags to indicate that they may be that same type of person. So
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I don't have sympathy. I'm not going to say that at all, but I don't understand people that go through something and open up doors for or do things to aid that. Don't have a child with that person if you can help it, if it didn't already happen. Don't get married to that person. Don't do things that attach yourself to a situation that you know is not right. That's my problem with people. That's my issue with people.
Understood. And sometimes it's hard to pinpoint the invisible mask. Some people wear a mask well, and especially a
Mm,
narcissist.
mm,
Narcissism is so, it
mm.
depends on what kind it is. It's so well hidden. And the thing is,
That's
it's
an
an
art.
illness.
That's a
It's an
mental
art.
illness, but it's a skill and an
It's
art.
a real art to
Yeah.
hide something that this person is actually not. He or she is really using the other person as their reflection,
Yeah. It could
because a
take,
narcissist
honestly.
has no
Hmm.
goodness, no mercy, nothing good about a narcissist. It's a feeder. It's a feeder
Hmm.
from every level, and it's really just transferring its energy on the other person. It's just mirroring the other
Hmm.
person. It
In a
has no
way that just
personality,
doesn't
nothing.
even, in a way that you don't
It's
even
senseless.
understand until it's too late.
You could never
The
understand until you know the
yeah.
signs. One thing I could say for sure, understand the signs of that kind of behavior. Understand the signs. And once you understand the signs, then you won't accept it. And then know that you are this phenomenal individual, intricately
Ariel
made,
said,
that you are individually made.
she said, craftiness at its best.
What?
Hashtag narcissism.
Narcissism.
Exactly.
Narcissism. Folks,
Yeah.
families, we need to really study the art, the art of
Right.
narcissism. We need to know exactly what it looks like. And it
All
doesn't
different
matter if
types of
they're
women.
male or female.
Yeah. He said all
It's
different types of women, but learn from them all. He said he's married
absolutely,
now. Yeah. Which
absolutely
is
learn
getting
from them
away
all.
from some things. Yeah, getting married by getting away from certain things, locking down something that's good for you. That's the opposite
Yeah,
of
that's the opposite.
yeah.
That's the opposite. However, you want to identify love too. What is love? Because what love is to one, love is not to another. Understanding the meaning and the value of love and the value of respect. And that's
See, the
one thing.
thing,
Those are things that the narcissist does
yeah.
not.
What I want to touch on actually, and I want to do this, some of this on Sunday, which is
Yes.
narcissism, because we never
Yes.
really highlighted narcissism. Although we've talked about certain traits of it, and we never really brought it up as a subject. And Ariel chiming in with the narcissism and stuff really makes me think about a
Yeah.
lot. And if
Yeah.
you
We
don't
need to
mind,
talk about it.
yes, if you don't mind, I want to
Absolutely.
give a little moment of transparency. Not going to get all into
Yes.
detail, but
Go with it.
a roommate that that was my best friend, was inquiring, did all these things musically, and I thought we were going to make music. We were making great music, awesome music and stuff together. Um, I don't know how I defended this friend to the point where I tried to see past things that I knew wasn't right. So if I'm
Wow.
telling y'all something, I'm not going to act like I didn't go through it. It took me about 7 years to get out of a situation because of guilt.
Wow.
My situation with my home at the time going left, me needing a place to stay, and that guilt being placed over my head for 7 years. So moving out of a one
Wow.
bedroom, I'm sleeping on the floor,
Wow.
transparency, y'all. So sleeping on the floor, paying rent and everything, moving to a 2 bedroom. I was in a chokehold for about 7 years before moving to
Wow.
this house that I'm in right now. So it took me that much. So I'm just saying that I understand and I know that it can take a lot of time. It can completely be blinded by a narcissist and not know, and you will feel you can do everything under the sun, and this person
Absolutely.
will do everything but be pleased. So
Exactly.
understanding that it can happen, you can get stuck, but
Yeah.
if you talk to people that that's like-minded, or maybe someone like this that can share something or a situation like that, maybe you'll understand and be able to pinpoint it. 'Cause sometimes you don't know until you out of the situation. You don't know how
Yeah.
much has happened. Your mind will replay every
Exactly.
single thing that has happened to you, and you don't even you're so busy trying to prove something. You're so busy trying to say I'm your friend, I'm down. Trust me, it can happen.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to
Yeah.
say, but trust me. Trust
Yeah.
me. So
Thank you,
so
Trey. Thank you,
when you
Trey.
can,
Cause
yeah.
that's us.
Hmm.
That's us. That's so many people. Thank you so much, Trayvon, for sharing that with us,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
so many people who are watching tonight, that's us. That is us all over the place, because that's the
Hmm.
aftershock is coming to the reality point that
Hmm.
that he or she is who they are, what they are, and they have no shame in their game. That's the bottom
Hmm.
line. You could
Hmm.
you could be friends, you could be married to them, you could be in a deep relationship. However, you go on suffer now. You
Hmm.
go on suffer long. I'm just saying.
But can I
You're
give
going to suffer
just
long.
one tip? Can I give just one
Yes.
tip on that situation to turn it
Mm-hmm.
around? Because my life is I'm grateful to say, thank you God, that my
Yes.
life is everything that I wanted to be now. So I've,
Absolutely.
completely turned from the dark to the light, but I
Absolutely.
would say that when it comes to separating yourself, number one, if you start to pick up on things, it might take you time to build enough to the point where you feel comfortable leaving the situation. Now, if you are someone like myself that has to leave, I left everything behind. Furniture, nice fresh, mattresses, mattress and furniture set
You
and
had
some
to.
electronics and a brand new TV and all of that
You
because it
had
was
to.
time to go.
Yeah, you
So I
had to.
pray for anybody who's going through a situation like that, honestly, to for something to happen. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be a bad situation like it was with me, but I hope that and I pray that you leave.
Absolutely.
Even if you have nothing. I had absolutely nothing moving into this. I had absolutely nothing but a bag of clothes. I took that, my computer bag with my legal documents in it. I'm not stupid, so I'm not gonna leave without my important stuff. But I took that. I had a bag of clothes, and that was it. Luckily, my family took me in. My aunt, shout out to Aunt Kim. I don't call her Aunt Kim. I just call her
Auntie
Kim.
Kim.
But Auntie Kim, for those that don't know
Mhm.
her, shout out to her for giving me that space to actually reset my life. It took some
Absolutely.
time. I've been here for a few years, so it took me some time, but I'm here now. So I'm just saying you can make it out. I just pray that the day comes that you and then leave.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
all.
That things click. And we honor you for doing so, because not too many people can stand strong in that. And you made it. You made it out.
I did.
You made it out that aftershock. That was an aftershock for you. Absolutely. Thank you. And and you made the connection, because it was impacting you. It would have killed you. It would have killed off your mental wellness, your mental health. And thank God you made your mental health a priority. That's the thing. In an aftershock of any catastrophic thing in our lives, we must make our mental health a priority.
Yes.
If you don't take anything away from tonight's show, family, take this and go with it. Your mental health is a priority, and everything else will follow and fall in line. Once you make it a priority, everything else must fall in line. It's simple, not basic.
Simple, not basic. I love when you say simple but not basic. Exactly.
So even I gotta pop this one in there.
Go ahead.
Because our lives are spiritual. We are air, we're water, we're so many things, but our lives are spiritual because of the connection.
Very true.
And God, the creator, he made us. And thank God for, the connection, how he keeps us connected with him, with our Father God, and how Christ he was progressive, and so many, theologians or whatever, whatever the collar says. I know I'm gonna get some hits on this. I'll get hits on a regular. It's okay. I still love you. Smooches. The aftershock of the religiosity of things, the aftershock of not, making things plain. Christ, he was about making it plain, making the way straight and plain, making changes in the wilderness of a bad society, because he was living in a society. I mean, he was a 30-year-old young guy, young man, coming up in a society that was not progressive. I'm just saying. So now he was talking about the mind shifting from the tradition, shifting from sacrificing your children, shifting from traditional and shifting into a new line of thought that's healthier for you, that's good for you, that's progressive, that will help bring the community together. That's all he was saying. That's really the message that he was bringing. So just like, I'm just saying how it's attached. Our spiritual self is attached, and how Christ deals with us on a day-to-day basis. Even the day that he died, it was significant. We're talking about the change that happened for all humankind. The aftershock, of an earthquake. On the day of Christ's death, the crucifixion itself was like the earthquake. Everything shook. The foundation shook. People was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" What do we have here? On a couple of days ago, we had not the blackout. We had when the sun blocked out the moon.
Eclipse.
Solar eclipse. It was sort of like a solar eclipse at the same time, and everybody was in an uproar. But what I'm saying is the profound transformation that happened at that time was about change, the mindset.
That's something that I want to get into too, because that's cool subjects to get into, and the influence. If anybody knows anything, your surroundings and the moon and everything that's why everybody gets to tripping and doing too much when the sun comes out. Or it's a
and
full
certain times of
moon,
the
and so
day,
you know.
3, 6, 9, 12 hours, all kind of stuff like that. He'd be like, well, why are you acting like, what are you doing? Pay attention. Things
Right
happen
though.
and shift in the spirit realm, in the spirit world. For those who are watching, listening, they probably saying, oh, Lord, where is she going with this? I'm talking about the connection
They're
to
still
your
in here.
life,
They're
the
listening to something because
in-depth.
they're still in here. So thank you
Exactly.
for
We're talking
everybody that's
about,
watching.
yes, thank you so much. We're talking about deep diving and your life changing. We're talking about the reflection, the spiritual significance, the ripple effect of Christ's his redemption act, how he shattered barriers between us and him. He was like, he didn't leave us off and say, listen, y'all, all your badness is just weighing me out. No. He said, listen, I'm going to give y'all more than a second chance. We have so many chances, it's ridiculous. And we have everything we need from within because of the creative way that God has made us. So really, no matter how bad things are in our life, and I'm telling you, we go through some bad times. But those bad times turn into something good. And
Exactly.
we learn how to break and shake those barriers. We just like the earthquake. It'll be on top of our nerves, but we finally, by the help and graces of God and standards that God shows us to live by, to increase, as Donald Lawrence said, increase, meaning, to make changes and improvements, simple improvements so that things won't be on top of our nerves. So we can become nurturing and nurture others into a better life. This is why we're here. This is why Just Stop It is here, because we're shaking things up.
That
Even
part.
though we have our own aftershocks, our own earthquake moments. Christ, he came to change it. He came to help us shake off the old me. What T.I. say? The old me is dead
I
and
know.
gone.
Let me find out. Look at you quoting Ti. He's
Hello, I
showing out a
love
little
that
bit
guy.
tonight. What's going on
I
around here?
like him. I like his some of his.
Yeah,
I don't like his earlier works.
I feel you.
Too much.
For good
But
reason.
I'm
He's
talking about
more on the
something.
yeah. He's
I mean,
more on the
he
philosopher
progressed.
type of side now, as
Yes,
far as
he's a
he kind
poet.
of shaped up some things.
He
Yeah,
he shaped up a lot because he learned a lot. He has a family. He's a married man. He has an amazing family, and he learned from his mistakes. And he learned, like, listen, he knows who the creator is. He know who God. He may not say a whole lot about God, but from my hearing and his efforts and things like that, and certain things that he does, I really believe that he's a believer, or he's coming into it. I have to say, you don't necessarily have to be in church to be a believer, because the word is, we are carriers of the word, and women were the first carriers of the word of God in Christ. And we have to live it, as my grandparents used to say, we got to live it. So yeah, believers are from every branch of this world. This is why the scriptures say, pay attention to the other parts of the body. So, in other words, there's so many different parts of Christ's body. The body of Christ, meaning life. There's so many different parts. Exactly. So
Kenneth says,
so
speak. He says spiritual fiber.
Spiritual fiber. Yes, Dr. K, you're on it. And we thank God for Dr. K too. He's on it. He's out there advocating good mental health and accountability and support. We thank everybody up in the house tonight.
Yes.
Rocking
if
and rolling.
If you're on Facebook, like this or hit the heart, just to keep those notifications rolling. I appreciate everybody for staying in here the entire time. Anytime y'all stop in, and if we send something to y'all, if we don't, we still get the solid 6 to 7 people in here. So look, that's enough. I love that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Please like us on Facebook. Please, valid information with us in different places. Even if you live somewhere and you see some of the things that we've been talking about, or you see something we need to talk about, and other places in your other place that you're traveling. That's another thing. Traveling also helps you to navigate advocacy. When you travel, you're going to see a whole bunch of other stuff, and you'll be like, okay, this is what needs to be done. And you can get to it with the right people. And also increase your life.
Get through it.
Get through it, get to it, get with it, and increase your life.
You already know I got to do something towards the end, which is hitting them with a disclaimer. Exactly.
Go with it.
Thank you. All right, everybody. One thing I got to hit y'all with is a disclaimer because we don't want y'all to say anything that we have shared with y'all, given to y'all, has swayed y'all in a certain direction that we don't want you guys to go in. We are mental health advocates that are here for you. So let me read this disclaimer real quick. The information in this video is not intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All content is to be considered as such. Like I said, we are mental health advocates that are here for you. That's it. That's all.
Absolutely. And please come on back on our next Just Stop It show. And shout out to all our graduates, our April babies. Every single graduate, no matter what level, even if you have gained opportunity and certificate in a certificate program, you are leveling up. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Regardless. Yeah, we're not going to tear it down. It's love and support regardless.
Exactly.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Absolutely.
Actually, 2 shout outs, actually. Well, no, 3 of them, actually. So, Margaret Gray, my grandmother, I don't know if you watching live like you normally do. We try to set her up on YouTube, so she should be watching live. I don't think she's able to comment and stuff just yet. Like, there's no how,
Margaret.
But yep. Thank you for being one of my supportors. I want to shout out to my Aunt Kim. And also, as far as graduates, I want to shout out my cousin Naya. Seniors just went to prom. Yep, full ride scholarship to Hampton University. Yes.
All right, now huge congratulations. Thank you. Absolutely huge, and keep going, keep shining, keep shining. There's more as you level up even more. And and please, don't stop. Education is key. It's a part of it, it's you don't stop at education. It's a part of it. It's a part of your growth and development, and you will need some type of education so you can grow further. So you can go further and develop and be your best phenomenal self. Absolutely.
She said, thank you.
Yes, Auntie Kim. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're great. Her greatness is always shining too. Yes. And my big sister Margaret, the B-Day next week.
April 19th is coming up.
April 19th is coming up. All our April folks. And we just celebrate life up in here because we don't know, anything can happen, and we just want to just keep celebrating. How do you celebrate? You guys can share how you celebrate life. Is it Christmas for you every day?
It should be.
Tell us.
That's what my grandmother says. Christmas is every day. And let's practice and make some of those things like I say, Valentine's Day and Women's History Month and Black History Month and those times that we get a certain allotment of time. Let's stretch it out and make it all year. Show a little love however you do all year. So whether it's a brother that's doing something, that's working hard, or you see him trying to start his business, or you got somebody that does hair or whatever it may be, just congratulate.
Exactly.
Just pat somebody on the back, hey, I see you. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah, we need that encouragement, folks, and you will be surprised at some of the new things that people have in their hearts and mind to do. They just need the support. So again, we're about accountability and support. We come together with those things, make it happen, right?
I know that's right.
So we hope that you have the best rest of the week until Sunday. Trey, you wanna re-emphasize a little bit on the pit stop?
I don't mind doing it. I don't mind. No problem at all.
Absolutely.
So the reason why we got 2 shows, Wednesday and Sunday. The reason why I named Wednesday the pit stop, because it's a little 30-minute interaction. Now, sometimes when I get viewers in here that just engagement or people standing here consistently, we try to give you a little bit more, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but be expecting the time to be on Wednesdays 7:30 to 8, and on Sundays it's going to be from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's the pit stop because it's a quick interaction, just a little stop by for you to catch our vibe. Hopefully you catch our vibe and you continue to stay up with us, continue to want to watch. But for those that are in here, it's 6 people in here right now. Y'all stayed to the very end, so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for that. I would like for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're on YouTube. Most of our viewers I see right now are on Facebook, so make sure you like the actual post that you're on. And if you like it enough, go ahead and share it. But this is what we do Wednesday to Sunday. Yep.
Absolutely. And I'd like to give one more shout out to Phi Psi Lambda Leadership Society Incorporated. They are They are on a mission to ensure that all students, particularly African American, Black, Caribbean, and Latino, Hispanic males, have equal opportunity to pursue and complete a college education in alignment to life.
That's what I like.
I'm just saying. So shout out to our male fraternity. Well, they said they're not a fraternity. We're talking about this nonprofit, Lambda Leadership, Phi Psi Lambda Leadership Society. Phenomenal young guys, and they are really putting it down in the mental health health and education pursuit, and changing the narrative thereof. So we also honor all our males, and we just want to encourage our males with our females. You know, this is not gender. This is not about gender. So don't y'all little folks getting twisted on gender.
You know, one-sided.
You know, one-sided. This is not what this is about. We're talking about encouraging our Black males in particular, or our Black males in particular, because they are the ones who go through the most mental health conditions. Mental health conditions are most prevalent among our young adults. Ages 14 and 75% manifest illnesses as early, actually by the age of 14. So stuff is happening. Our people once said that earlier. She says that often. Stuff is happening as early as 10 years old, and the stats are showing it can happen, you can actually show out by age 14 and manifest by age 24. So, you know, and that reveal comes what? Anxiety and depression. And that's where the mental health, I have to say, wilderness begins. Yep. Yeah, it kicks in. That's when the reality kicks in. So this is why we are also grafting in more support to help to equally become accountable and supportive of our Black males. I'm just saying, family, chime in. You guys know our males or females, you know, some organizations who like to help, who like to partner.
Drop the names.
Bring it. Drop the names, please. Don't hesitate. Drop the names. All our contacts are at any links.
Any links that you have in businesses.
Exactly. Yes. At YouTube, not YouTube, at TikTok. You can also hit us up at TikTok, also at IG. You can message us, DM us at IG and TikTok. Please don't hesitate. We need more. We can do more with more. I'm just saying.
That part. We need y'all.
All right. We need you. We need you. All right. Now we're out of here. Love you much. Big hugs for the week. Love you much, Trey Wiz.
That was a nice refresh.
Our very own lovely recovery. A lovely recovery. A lovely restore. Love you, fam.
Like
love you, Ari. Love you, Auntie Kim. Love you, Dr. K. Love you, Mr. DJ. Woo boo.
Right,
love everybody who was watching tonight. Love you. We need the love, and keep on loving. Peace, love, and joy. Until then.
Hey. All right. See you later, Professor. Great show. All right. Y'all know how we do. Good night.
But listen, I know it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of vices that's out there that's persuading us and telling us that if we don't have a certain number of followers, that we shouldn't be and do what God called us to do. You know, it's a lot of vices out there that say that you need to have a clique and that you need to be a part of this and that, and you have to look a certain way. And if you are not part of the bourgeois, you don't have the elitism and the look that what God put in you